Wowcher. Save now. Live wow.
On TV, on radio, and on your smartphone. This is TalkTV.
Good afternoon and welcome to my brand new show. I'm Julia Hartley-Brewer and you're with TalkTV, on radio, online and on your smart speaker. And I'm with you live from 1 until 3 every weekday afternoon. Coming up in this hour.
I said you've got to win it. You blew the doors off.
Keir Starmer hails a seismic win in Scotland. The SNP are in trouble after the party was left humiliated, losing a 5,000 majority in Rotherglen and Hamilton West. And teachers turned dentists. Children would have to brush their teeth at school under Labour plans to rescue the nation's dental health. Is there anything left that we expect parents to do? And rules over the right to die. Prosecutors paved the way for assisted dying, removing the possibility of charges where someone clearly doesn't want to live. All that coming up over the next couple of hours. But first, let's get the latest news headlines with Zora Sullivan.
Thanks, Julia. Good afternoon. Sir Keir Starmer has pitched Labour as the party of change after their resounding victory in the Rotherglen and Hamilton West by-election. Labour won with a majority of almost 9,500 votes. That's a swing from the SNP of over 20%. It was a recall by-election held after constituents voted to remove a COVID rule-breaking former SNP MP.
We've changed, and because we've changed, we are now the party of change here in Scotland, with a party of change in Britain, with a party of change right across the whole country.
A man's been charged over an alleged plot to kidnap TV presenter Holly Willoughby. 36-year-old Gavin Plum was arrested on Wednesday as part of an ongoing investigation. He'll appear at Chelmsford Magistrates Court today. Holly was forced to pull out of hosting This Morning yesterday, and her London home is now reportedly under police guard. England's former Children's Commissioner says the COVID pandemic was a disaster for many disadvantaged and vulnerable children. Anne Longfield told the COVID inquiry that it was a terrible mistake to prioritise reopening restaurants and theme parks over schools. Longfield also hit out at the government criticising indecisive and indifferent decisions.
Children were often overlooked, and there was even occasions where it felt that the government was indifferent to children's experience during COVID.
A 16-year-old has been arrested on suspicion of murder after another teenager was stabbed to death in Brighton. It happened in the city centre at around 5 p.m. yesterday afternoon. Police say there'll be increased officer presence and anyone with further information should come forward. The average UK house price has fallen almost 0.5% in September, but that's down from 1.8% drop in August. The statistics released by Halifax show a 4.7% annual fall. Well, a typical home would cost just over £778,000, around the level seen in early 2022. And a loggerhead sea turtle called Lona by those who found her stranded on a beach in Scotland last year has been released back into the wild. The animal was taken to Sea Life Loch Lomond Aquarium, where she was looked after until she was well enough to be let go. Researchers weighed, measured and tagged her before releasing her back into the sea off the coast of Portugal. Well, that's the latest. Now time for a look at today's weather with Joe Wheeler.
Times Radio sponsors TalkTV weather.
Hello there. Well, it is going to be a weekend of contrasts, with the northern parts of the country seeing a good deal of rain, the south seeing some sunshine and becoming warm as well. Well, this was the picture a little bit earlier on where we've got an area of rain through central areas. That's going to be pushing its way northwards through the course of the day. So steadily brightening from the south. We'll see some lovely sunny spells at times and at nice warm temperatures too. In the meantime, the rain makes its way into Scotland. So cool in the north, not too bad down towards the south. We could see a 22 degrees Celsius, that's 72 degrees Fahrenheit. But it'll be this evening and overnight that rain starts to set in across Scotland and it will intensify. We're looking at seeing some significant rainfall between now and Sunday morning. And indeed, there's the weather warning for Saturday. We could see up to 150 millimetres of rain in some places. Quite chilly overnight in the north. Mild in the south, temperatures holding at around 15 or 16 degrees Celsius. Then through the course of Saturday, well, it just continues to rain for much of Scotland. Down towards the south, we'll see some sunny spells. And it will, if anything, be warmer. We could see a high of 24 degrees Celsius, 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Warmer again on Sunday.
Times Radio sponsors Talk TV weather.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. I'm Julia Hartley-Brewer and you're with Talk TV, on radio, online and on your smart speaker. Thank you so much for joining me. We've got lots coming up over the next 2 hours. We'll be getting the latest on the SNP's bruising by-election defeat overnight, with pollsters now predicting a virtual wipeout of the party at the next election. But is that really what's going to happen? And one story that we will be looking at later is Labour's new announcement that they want to introduce supervised toothbrushing for 3 to 5-year-olds, so those in reception in schools in England, starting in the most deprived areas. But when did toothbrushing become the teacher's job? Thought they were supposed to do, you know, teaching English and maths and things. It's the parents' responsibility, isn't it? Are we letting too many bad parents off the hook? I would love to know your thoughts on this. I've got a funny feeling you're going to agree with me. But whether you do or whether you don't, give me a call on 0344 499 1000. You can text me on 87222, or you can tweet me or X me at TalkTV. I can't wait to get your thoughts on air. Joining me throughout today's show is Free Speech Union commentator Sam Armstrong. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon,
Thank you so much for joining me. Lots of really interesting stories to discuss today. But we're going to start with this bruising by-election defeat. So as we've been reflecting, you know, bruising night for the SNP in Rutherglen and Hamilton West. They lost a 5,000 majority with a 20% swing to Labour. And despite a low turnout, Keir Starmer's party secured nearly 18,000 votes, with the leader hailing it a seismic victory. Now, the key thing here is it wasn't that low a turnout for a by-election at 37%. That's a pretty good turnout. And we need to talk about the context of this. This was after Margaret Ferrier. I mean, you're going back best part of 3 years now. SNP MP for the seat. She basically gets on a train knowing she's got COVID, breaking all of the COVID rules. Now, I opposed a lot of those rules, but that was a pretty reasonable rule. If you know you've got COVID, don't go on a crowded train and travel across the length and breadth of the country. This emerged. She was forced to resign. There was a recall petition. More than 10% of the constituents in her constituency basically said, we want her gone. She's out. And then we have this by-election. Now, this was a really big test for Labour in Scotland, wasn't it? It was a big test on, you know, have they got a chance of winning seats back from the SNP? And you can kind of see it both ways. They've doubled their number of seats in Scotland from 1 to 2 out of 59. Is this, as Keir Starmer says, a seismic victory?
Well, look, at one level, it's a